What is going on, guys? What's popping? So today we are doing the Week 13 predictions for the NFL 2020 season, and I brought on one of my buddies for this video. His name's Clay, aka Pantherology. Clay, what's going on, man?
What's poppin', Carolina Nation and NFL Nation? What's going on, Fratagonia? How are you today?
Doing good, man. Just chilling, ready to get through some picks. So we're gonna go and start with the Week 13 picks. I'll call them out. I'll give you my pick, and then take your insight. And then we'll go back to Week 12. We'll see what I got right, I got wrong, and what you got right and wrong from last week.
Yep.
So I know you wrote down
Yep.
what your predictions were. So let's go
Yep.
and jump in and get started. So the first game of the week, the New Orleans Saints at the Atlanta Falcons.
All right. First game. All right. So Atlanta versus
Who did Atlanta play last week?
they played last week. They played the Raiders, and they beat the
crap out of the Raiders. Yeah.
They beat them like I think it was 40. I think the final score, if I'm not mistaken, was 43-7.
Okay. Yeah. So it was a big beatdown. So I'm still picking the Saints. 100%.
I'm picking the Saints. I mean, the Saints trashed the Falcons 2 weeks ago in Tyson Hill's first start, I mean,
this still starting. Is Breeze back, or do you know?
Oh, I think Tyson Hill's still starting. This will be a trigger. I think this will be a trickery on the road after the Falcons, stop the run well against the Raiders, and Matt Ryan will probably provide more offensive resistance. Now, the problem is the Saints passing game and defense will continue, I think, to come through when needed, and it has too much to stake with the number one C2 let up against their arch rivals. But I'm going to take the Saints in the win here, and I'm going to give you a score prediction of 27-20.
Ooh, you're giving score predictions. I'm not that bold, but I am picking the Saints as well.
Oh,
next,
I came prepared.
Okay, good. That's good. Next we have the Detroit Lions at the Chicago Bears. And Clay, I think the Bears are one game ahead of the Lions and the NFC North or AFC North. And I just have no faith in that Chicago Bears offense. I just think Stafford has got too much for him. I know the Lions have been really struggling, but I do think they beat the Bears. I'm picking the Lions. What about you?
Well, I mean, the Lions fired their head coach, Matt Patricia. So, I mean, the Bears might also soon be done with their head coach, Matt Nagy. Is that how you pronounce his last name?
Yeah,
Nagy?
I think so.
And there should be some motivation of the players to play harder on both sides with their respective fading seasons at stake. Crazy things tend to happen, when both teams are mediocre. See the week one tale of two games, and then let's meet somewhere in the middle with an ugly, low scoring. I'm going to go Bears 20-17 win.
Okay, I hear that. And dude, it's about time they fired Patricia. He was horrible.
No, it's unreal. And the thing that makes me so mad still about this Lions team is like Matthew Stafford's been there for so many years, the most underrated quarterback in the league, and he's not had any help at all.
Yeah, they ruined him, man, or they ruined everything around him, really. He's still been good, but yeah, Patricia, I think is a smart guy, just kind of a douche. I don't think any of the players really resonated with him, that sort of thing. So next we have the Indianapolis Colts douche at the Houston Texans. And the Colts, man, I picked them to beat the Titans last week, and they did not. And it wasn't even that close. It was like 40-something to 20-something. I still think they beat Houston, even though Houston's been playing decent lately. I just think that Colts defense is too much. So I picked the Colts. What about you?
Yeah, so I'm taking the Colts here in a close one, though. I think it's going to be like 27-24, but the Colts win. I mean, the Colts are becoming a hard team to predict from week to week, I mean, they took enough defensive hits with inactives in week 12 to roll over against the Titans. And I mean, this week they should go back to establishing the run well against a weak Titans front to ease the pressure off of Phillip Rivers. And their secondary and linebackers really can't contain Deshaun Watson's deep pass and scrambling just enough to avoid the upset. But I still think the Colts win here 27-24.
Yeah, I agree. I think Jonathan Taylor is going to be able to go out there and do his thing. Now,
they got some backs, man. Jordan Wilkins and Nakeem Hines is great.
Yeah, I mean, they got like a three-headed monster there, man. I really like what Jonathan Taylor brings, but like you said, Hines, Wilkins, they got a lot of depth there too at
Yes, they do.
running back. So next we have the Vegas Raiders at the Jets, and I'm not going to talk much about this. I'm just going to say the Raiders are going to win. They played poor last week, but or no, they did play
They,
poor against the
they
Falcons.
played really bad, and I actually thought that they were going to beat
Mm.
the brakes off of Atlanta. But
Yeah, I think everybody did, but I don't think the Jets are going to beat them. I don't think they're getting their first win against the Raiders.
well, I'm gonna give a little bit of insight on this game real quick here. I think the Raiders will try this again after they fell flat on their face against the Falcons. I mean, I was watching some of that game going back and forth.
Mhm.
And I mean, the Jets also can contain their running game, but I think what you need to look for is Derek Carr to get like refocused and spreading the ball around downfield with fewer mistakes. And the
Yep.
Jets continue to show less life with Adam Gates and Sam Darnold, so it's hard to expect them to get off the mat with John Gruden pushing his team to play a lot better. My scoring prediction for this game, though, I think Raiders 24-14.
Yeah, I think if the Raiders are just smart, then they'll run the ball a lot. Derek Carr doesn't need to do too much to win that game, but I completely agree. Next, we have the Cleveland Browns at the Tennessee Titans. Pretty tough game, I feel like, but I think the Titans are finally starting to figure it out some. They proved it to me against the Colts. So I'm rolling with the Titans in this one, maybe because I want them to win, maybe because they're at home. I don't know. What do you think?
I think obviously this is the AFC game of the week. The Browns and Titans both want to run the ball well to control the clock and set up, favorable play action passing opportunities, especially for Baker Mayfield and Ryan Tannehill. I mean, so this becomes more of a grinding battle between Nick Chubb, Derrick Henry, with a few pass plays to talented receivers against fewer weak, secondaries. So I trust Henry and I trust Tannehill a little bit more at home. So I'm taking the Titans here. I'm going to go 24-20.
Yeah, and I agree. I just trust Tannehill and Derrick Henry a little more than I do Baker and Chubb and Hunt. So
Absolutely.
next we have the Bengals at the Dolphins. And man, if Burrow was healthy and the Dolphins were starting Tua, this would have been a fun game to talk about. But we got Fitzmagic versus Ryan Finley. So we have the battle of the Ryans. So I can resonate with that. But I think the Dolphins win this pretty handily without Burrow out there.
Well, the best Ryan is you, obviously, by far.
Clearly, thank you, Clay.
The Bengals, I mean, played over their heads defensively in week 12 and also got a, special teams touchdown to cover against the Giants. And then the Dolphins are getting pretty, like, I guess you could say the word methodically. I'm trying to use big words here.
What word did you use?
Methodically.
Methodically.
Methodically. Sorry. I sound like
gosh.
I sound like a jackass when I try to pronounce these big words.
I've got good at pronouncing words because YouTube will destroy you for pronouncing words.
Yeah,
wrong.
well, I've already gotten destroyed about calling one of our defensive players.
Oh yeah, with the players, it's worse.
Yeah. So, and opponents, they beat under Brian Flores. Whether it's more of Ryan Fitzpatrick or Toyo Tailoa, there will be a limited burden on Miami's quarterbacks. So, I mean, look for the Dolphins to grind this one out with whoever's running the ball with a few pass plays to just score enough. Dolphins going to win this game. I'm going to go 24-10. I'm going to go 24-10.
Yeah, I think the Dolphins are a very well-coached team, so that's why I think they have the edge over the Bengals. But next, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Minnesota Vikings. And, man, I picked the Panthers last week. I picked your guys to beat the Vikings, and they let me down. So I was a little disappointed. And the Panthers, not really. I mean, they still played pretty well. It was a close game, like 27-28. I'm picking the Vikings to win this one against the Jaguars, even though the Jaguars have been competing pretty closely in games, it seems like. Their game, I forgot who they played last week, but it was close. What's your take?
The Jags, they played the Browns last week. They only lost 27-25.
Right, so that game was close.
Yeah, the Vikings had two fluky fumbles, I'm going to be honest, that went for touchdowns. I mean, Jeremy Chin's a stud, but they were fluky, against us, making the game much closer than it should have been. The Vikings just Bad play calls. There's a lot I can go in on that game, but if y'all want to check that out, go to my channel. I talk about it on there. The Jaguars simply cannot stop the Vikings, playmakers for Kirk Cousins. I mean, led by Dalvin Cook and Justin Jefferson, the Vikings defense is containing much better with their zone defense to, stop any threat of a Mike Glennon comeback. So I got the Vikings winning big here. I'm going to go 31-14.
Yeah, man. Hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your treadmills because Dalvin Cook's about ready to go for a run. And
listen, we stopped him for 63 yards last week. I was like stoked about that. But then you don't get, even when you stop their best guy and you lose like that, it's very heartbreaking.
Yeah, agreed. So next we have the LA Rams who beat the Bucks last week, was it?
No, they lost to San Francisco last week.
Okay, so they lost to the 49ers with all their guys out, and they're playing the Cardinals this week. And this is why it's been a weird league this year, man. I could easily see the Rams winning that game. Their defense is so good, but I do think the Cardinals bounce back and win.
I was so shocked at the game last week. I was shocked that San Francisco beat them. It was only 23-20. They only won by 3 points, but I was just shocked. I mean, the Rams defense is rolling. I mean, Cardinals offense is slowing down as, I feel like Kyler Murray's he has a bad shoulder. I mean, you can see it, but it's easier to trust Murray to rebound at home versus a Jared Goff and his boom or bust nature, so to speak, to be better on the road. So Arizona is gathering more defensive players, and Los Angeles will try to use Aaron Donald, I think, and Jalen Ramsey to rattle Murray and shut down DeAndre Hopkins. But I think the Cardinals get it done with more reliable running and short to intermediate passing game. But I'm going to go close. I'm going to go Cardinals 24-20.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm just a little wrong about that one, man. I'm picking the Cardinals, but
when you lose to San Francisco with as many injuries as he's had, it's kind of hard for me to go pick you the next week.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's just that, man, that defense is tough. Aaron Donald and Jalen they're tough to beat, man. Tough to beat. So next we have the New York Football Giants at Seattle, and I'm rolling with Seattle, man. New York, I think they won against Cincinnati, but come on, Ryan Finley, and they won that game by like 2 points. So I'm definitely picking Seattle here. I know Russ is still trying to get back into that MVP conversation. Probably won't, but either way, I think they win this game.
So for me, this is when I do my videos, you'll hear like the NFC game of the week, AFC game of the week, but I also pick a lock of the week and an upset of the week. And this game for me is the lock of the week. Like if you're going to bet on a game, this is the game to bet on. Seahawks, and it's going to be Seahawks over the Giants. Now, obviously, Seahawks are flying back home after a short week, but they will likely face a Colt McCoy instead of Daniel Jones. So that gives their defense, and run game, which are finding momentum, a chance to take care of business at home, and where they have yet to lose this season. So Russell Wilson will play off the run as well, as usually with shots down the field away from James Bradbury. The Giants will see the run contained and won't have enough firepower to keep up. So I'm going to go Seahawks easily 30-14.
Man, I went to a Dallas-Washington game a few years ago, and it was week 17, and the game didn't matter, but Colt McCoy started against us, and they put up like 40-something points against us, and it just destroyed us. That game kind of sums up the season we're having this year, but that's so bad. I didn't know Daniel Jones was out.
We'll get to them here shortly.
Yeah. So next we have the Eagles at the Green Bay Packers. And man, this would be my lock, to be completely honest with you. I think Green Bay has this one in the bag. They were impressive last week. A-Rod is going to continue to do his thing, man. Wentz, no excuses, man. He sucked this year.
Here's a problem for me that I need the people to understand and realize. Carson Wentz is not a bad quarterback. He's not. It's not his fault. It's no different than what you're going through at Dallas. You've got injuries. So, that offensive line, they have not put anything around him to protect him ever since even before the Super Bowl. in the
Okay.
Super Bowl win. But anyways, let me get into this pick real quick. And actually, for me, this is the NFC game of the week. The Eagles are coming off a short week, but desperation, I think, will continue as they try to salvage a second straight NFC East title, you know? So
Mm.
their success in running the running game and throwing to their backs will keep them hanging around, but eventually Aaron Rodgers will easily outdo Carson Wentz to ensure the Packers get revenge for an early 2019 loss at Lambeau Field. So I got the Packers winning here. But I think it's gonna be closer than what people honestly think. I think the Packers win though, 27-20.
Clay, you know who you sound like? You sound like Snitsky from the WWE
It wasn't my fault.
talking about Carson Wentz, man. And it is partially his fault, man. I get they don't have a lot of guys around him, but the Cowboys, man, the first half of the season, Dak didn't have 75% of his offensive line around him, but he was still out there doing his thing.
But
So
but how do you go from being a quarterback that had 101 QBR, threw for 20 or over 20 something touchdowns and only 3 interceptions, and then go from this? There's something
but
that's not clicking in Philadelphia, and I don't think it's him. I think it's Doug Peterson, to be honest.
it could very well be. And I think a little bit of it, though, is he's gone through so many seasons with all these injuries, man. He's never had a chance to really put it together. And I think that's coming back towards the end of his prime and starting to hurt him a little bit. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but anyways, next we have the
I
New England. Go
frustrating
ahead.
to see.
Yeah,
It's frustrating to see.
it is. That's what he gets for beating Coastal all those years at North Dakota State, man.
Was that 2 years he beat us or one?
That's at least two in the playoffs. So next we have the New England Patriots at the Los Angeles Chargers. And I went back and forth with this one because the Patriots are starting to play better, but I'm like, man, that Chargers defense should be too good. And Keenan Allen is just coming into his own right now, man. He's arguably a top 5 to 8 to 10 wide receiver in the league right now.
Yeah. I mean, the Patriots are traveling cross country. I mean, trying to further, get a fresh air, they're breathing for life. I mean, to get themselves into playoff hopes. So, I mean, this screams of them grinding the game out with Cam Newton and then traditionally running the ball, and learning to improve their defensive scheming versus a Justin Herbert. So the Patriots can help their quarterback better with running as they compress the opposing offense around Herbert. So I got the Patriots in this one. I'm taking the Patriots. I'm going to roll with them. I'm going to go 23-20 and hopefully they can get a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with one thing. Austin Eckler is back this week. So I think the Chargers are going to do their thing on the ground. I think they're going to win the run game. I really do.
Well, we'll see. I mean, the Patriots played the Cardinals last week and took it away from them. So
Yeah, very true. Very good point. Next we have the Denver Broncos at the Kansas City Chiefs. Clay, I don't have anything to say about this. The Chiefs are winning. I bet my house, maybe I would bet my house that the Chiefs are going to win this game. I'd consider it at the very least.
Watch you do that, and Pat Mahomes tears his ACL.
Oh gosh, I certainly hope not either way. But
either way, they got Matt Moore backing him up, so you're good.
Is there backup Matt Moore still?
I'm pretty sure it's still Matt Moore.
Okay.
Now I'm not going to talk much about this one either, but I will give you my score prediction. I'm going to go Chiefs 34-17.
Yeah, that's probably fair. I don't think the Broncos defense is bad, but they don't have a quarterback, man. I thought it was Drew Lock, but he ain't it. So
he just needs to learn how to put his mask on.
Yeah, that's also true. But next we have the Washington football team. I'm never gonna get used to that name. It's such a dumb name for a football team, ironically. But at the Pittsburgh Steelers, and this is not going to be the first loss for the Steelers of the season. They're losing next week against the Bills, but they're not losing this week to Washington. What do you think?
I think Steelers coming off a short week, having played Wednesday against the Ravens. I mean, unfortunately, Washington's offense doesn't match up well against the Steelers. that run-stopping pass rush defense up front. Ben Roethlisberger will be very comfortable getting the ball and spreading around. So while Alex Smith won't have that kind of time back there, I'm going to take the Steelers here 27-13.
Okay. I don't hate that score. I would guess probably around 27-20. I think it's going to be a close game. I mean, Washington's defense will keep them in it, but
Ron
Steelers know.
Rivera's defense is just it's always been good, and it was even good in Carolina. And sometimes I wonder if we would have been better off this year with the people that we added around us, and then having Ron Rivera. But I do really like Matt Rule. I really like Joe Brady, Matt Rule. So.
Okay, so I'm definitely thinking the Steelers win that though. They just know how to win. Buffalo Bills at the San Francisco 49ers. Clay, this should be an easy one. This should be Bills 100%, but then the 49ers beat the Rams last week, so why can't they beat the Bills? I'm picking the Bills to win this one, but you tell me.
This is my upset of the week. I'm taking the 49ers over the Bills, and here's the reason why. The 49ers got a massive win, over the Rams. And now they can start to sense a shocking late playoff run with a healthier offense and defense. So their coaching has been fantastic all season still. I still think their coaching has been great. So they will effectively run on the Bills, and I think they use their short passing well too. So on the other side, they will have to get after Josh Allen after shutting down the run. And then the Bills will lose by a field goal on this cross-country trip. So I'm going to go the 49ers in the upset. Danny's going to hate me for this, but I'm picking them. 27-24 49ers. Mark it down.
Yeah, I think that's a really good pick. Like I said, I'm sticking with the Bills, but, Dan was a little confident this week about that 49ers game. I'm like, you know what? You never know. So
this is 2020, man, and football is so much up in the air, man. This year, you don't know. The Jets might come out of nowhere and go on win their last 4 games of the season.
Yeah, 100% right. Anyways, we made it to the last game of the week. It's Tuesday night football, whatever that is. The Dallas Cowboys at the Baltimore Ravens. And let me tell you something, Clay. I just heard earlier today that Lamar Jackson is supposed to play. So I would have changed my pick if I'd have known that, but I'm going to stick with what I was going to say. And I'm picking the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton. I'm picking the Cowboys to win, man, because it's just a game they're going to win, man. I can feel it in my bones, man. I don't even want them to really win this week, but they're gonna, and this is why, because they're gonna win the NFC East, man. Look at the NFC East schedule this week. Let me go back real quick to the NFC East games. We got the Giants at Seahawks. Giants are gonna lose. We have the Washington football team at the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Washington football team is going to lose. Philadelphia Eagles at Green Bay Packers. Philadelphia is going to lose. Cowboys could be easily tied for first or a half a game behind after this week. So I'm picking the Cowboys to win, man. It seems like the most winnable game in the NFC East with all the COVID things going around with the Ravens. I just don't think they're going to have luck on their side this week.
So the Cowboys will obviously have a long layoff from Thanksgiving playing this game,
they
4 days.
They needed
later than 4 games later than they expected. Now, the Ravens, I think, will hope to have enough healthy bodies, to field a competitive team that, resembles their best self. Now, for now, it's hard to think that John Harbaugh and their staff will get out coached by the mess out of Mike McCarthy. So there's too much pride and desperation here in trying to get an AFC wildcard berth to think Baltimore will fall. So for me, I'm leaning much on this running game and defense here. So I'm taking the Ravens, but I'm going to go close, 24-17. I hate to shoot you down. I know you're optimistic, but I can't. Especially if Lamar Jackson's playing and they get some healthy bodies back. Sorry.
Well, I was thinking the Cowboys were going to lose before this, and then I got on the radio 105.3 or whatever it is, the Fan, and they had Jerry Jones on, and he's like, "Well, you know what? I think Andy Dalton played a pretty good game, man. and the rest of the team, the rest of the team needs some milk, but I thought Dalton and Amari and Zeke, I think they were okay. So I'm picking the Cowboys to win. So yeah, I think you're probably right, Clay. I don't think that was a great prediction on my end. I'm already regretting it, but I did pick the Cowboys, man.
Don't regret it. Don't regret it because I might be wrong.
I picked the Cowboys last week, and I can't be that wrong 2 weeks in a row, I feel like. So one of those games, they're showing up.
Trust me, it happens when it comes to picking the games and stuff.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. All right, so let's go back to week 12 and see what we got right, see what we got wrong. Starting with the Houston Texans at the Detroit Lions. I picked the Texans to win, and I was correct.
Yeah, I had the Texans. So I went 12. So here's first things first. I went 12-4 last week in my picks.
10-6.
Yeah, I had Houston winning.
Okay. Okay. Next, the Washington football team at the Cowboys. I don't know why I thought the Cowboys were going to win that game. I was so wrong. 1-1 there. So Washington won.
I actually had Washington, so I'm 2-0 in those.
Yep. Okay. So next we had the Baltimore Ravens at the Pittsburgh Steelers. I did pick the Steelers to win, and they did.
Same.
So I'm 2-1. Are you 3-0?
3-0 right now.
Okay. The Las Vegas Raiders beat the they lost to the Falcons. I don't know why I put a Raiders win.
I'm looking at it right now. They lost 43-6.
Yep. So that put me at 2-2. I got that one wrong. Did you get that one wrong as well?
I got it wrong.
How about saying no way you picked the Falcons to win that? Okay.
Yeah, I got it. I got it completely wrong.
Gotcha. So next we had the Los Angeles Chargers at the Buffalo Bills. I picked the Bills to win that one, and they did, putting me at 3-2.
Yep, I had the Bills winning that.
Nice. Then we had the New York Football Giants barely skinned by the Cincinnati Bengals, but I did pick the Giants to win, and they did, 4-2.
Yeah, I had the Giants winning.
Nice. The Tennessee Titans at the Indianapolis Colts. Man, God, I always get the Titans wrong. I picked the Titans to lose, and they won. So that put me at 4-3.
I picked the Titans. I actually picked the Titans to win that game.
Nice. Yeah, that was a good pick. Cleveland Browns at the Jags. I picked the Browns. I'm assuming you did as well.
Yeah, that was – yep. I didn't think it was going to be that close either.
No, me neither. But that put me at 5-3. But, Duval, those boys are playing well in Jacksonville right now.
They are playing. They're a good team. It's just
they
need help. They're just missing something. It's just something missing.
Yeah, a quarterback. The Carolina Panthers at the Minnesota Vikings. Did you get this one right or wrong?
Completely wrong, sir.
Yeah, me too. That put me at 5-4. That put you at 6-3. Arizona Cardinals at the New England Patriots. I picked the Cardinals to win, and I was wrong.
I had New England winning this. I've been kind of riding that New England train. It's hard for me to go against Belichick, man. I just can't go against Belichick.
Something about that New England team. They're just not very explosive on offense, and it's hard for me to pick them to win. But they're winning so many games right now that it's kind of hard not to. So I hope I don't get them wrong again this week. But that put me at 5-5. Yeah, no. Dolphins at Jets. Got that one right. Picked the Dolphins to win. They did. Put me at 6-5. What about you?
Yeah, that was kind of a simple pick for me.
Yep, that was easy. New Orleans Saints at the Denver Broncos. I picked the Saints to win, and they did. Same. 7-5.
Same.
San Francisco 49ers at the Los Angeles Rams. I picked the Rams to win, and they lost.
Same. I had the Rams winning too.
Yeah, I think that was the good pick, man. We were just wrong. That put me at 7-6. Wait a second. That did not put me at 7. Oh, yeah, it did. It did. I was at 7-5. Mm-hmm. The Kansas City Chiefs at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I picked the Chiefs to win. I said, don't be surprised if Brady goes out there and makes it close, and he did. But the Chiefs did end up winning.
I picked, that was my upset of the week last week. I picked Tampa Bay to beat them.
Ooh, So you got that one wrong.
Man, yep, I did.
Okay. So that put me at 8-6. I got it right. Chicago Bears at Green Bay. That to me was the easiest game of the week to predict.
Yep. I had it Green Bay.
Yeah, me too. 9-6. And then Seattle over Philly. And I got that one correct.
Yeah, like I said, I went 12-4. The only games I lost was the Tampa Bay, San Francisco, the Carolina game, and the Raiders game.
Nice. So you got me by a couple games. We'll see how this week goes. We'll have to go back and revisit that.
Yep.
Clay, thanks again for coming on, man. Why don't you tell everybody where they can find you?
Yeah, man. So I'm on Instagram, Ropstar92. You can find me on Twitter, Ropstar92. On my Instagram, I don't really post any of my stuff. I share some stuff on my story about the Carolina, but don't really post my videos on there. But Twitter, I post on there. Facebook, you can find me on there, Clay Ropp, ClayRopp. I don't care. It's already out there. The government knows my name, so y'all can too. And then you can look me up on YouTube. Just look up Pantherology, P-A-T. All right, Pantherology, Pantherology. And just look me up. I'm a Panthers YouTuber. I post up about 3 to 4 videos a week. So go check me out, guys.
Yeah, for sure. Guys, make sure you go to Clay's channel, Pantherology, and subscribe. And while you're on my page, Fratagonia, make sure you smash that subscribe button and click comment and write out your little predictions and click that like button as well. And then one other button I want you to press is the notification bell. That way, each time I post a new episode, a new video, you get that notification. So, Clay, thanks again, man. I had fun. I appreciate it. And that's going to do it for today, guys. We're out. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.